is 60 minutes of your day, the Wednesday Homer Hour. It starts with Rain Man. Caller number 5. You have a chance to win Cousin Subs for a year, and automatically, even if you stink, you get Cousin Subs for $25, a $25 gift card. Cousin Subs, when I told them, no, we can't do it that way, they go, yeah, we can. We're doing it. They can get 0. And someone actually did get 0. And they still got the $25. Caller number 5, 1-800-990-3776 for Rain Man. We have a new leader at 10. So the only person who cannot compete is someone who is the leader, or if there are more than one leaders, people are tied. But we have only one at 10. So he cannot compete, but everybody else can. 15 questions, 2 minutes. The first question is the Saganiac Planning Marquette trivia question. The others, any 14 questions that I choose. Again, Rain Man brought to you by Cousin Subs. I mentioned their kindness. The competition will end at the end of the year. We do 2 a year, each 6 months. And the winner then gets Cousin Subs for a year worth about $300. And as I said, whoever is fortunately caller number 5, 1-800-990-3776, caller 5, they automatically get a $25 gift card, even if they stink. We have Kyle ready to go also on the show, Jason Wilde and Tim Van Vooren, as we discuss the Packers and their game tomorrow against the Detroit Lions. The Packers are 2.5-point underdog, and that generally means that the game's a toss-up. The home team is often, according to the stats, given 3 points for being at home, so it means that the Packers are 2.5-point because they're playing in Detroit. They were playing on a neutral site. I would guess the game would be a pick'em. All right, Kyle, you are on 94.5 ESPN. It is Rain Man. As with everyone, I really don't care anything about you other than what your Rain Man resume is to give people an idea as to how you might do. Kyle, your Rain Man resume, please.
I am 0-1. I've played before but did not win.
Your number?
6 or 7.
All right.
Can't remember.
Okay. I would say that that puts you as a possible leader. You would need 10 to tie. The first question is the Saganiac Planning Marquette trivia question. Saganiac Planning, named synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. And then I realized I was not doing them justice because they've been doing it well for over 50 years. That's how the sometimes complicated aspects of employee benefits can be simple for them because they've been doing it well for over 50 years. A phone number you can remember. All you got to remember is 783. Call Saganiac Planning, 262-783. Roger Maris, 6161. Would like to have something other than Roger Maris since he hit 61 home runs in 1961, but have not found one yet. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
The first question, again, is the Saganiac Planning Marquette trivia question. 3, 2, 1, go. What team beat Marquette and Dwayne Wade in the Final Four?
Louisville.
Incorrect. What team won the national title when Marquette with Dwayne Wade lost in the Final Four?
Florida.
Incorrect. 1963, the Packers were 11-2-1. What team beat them twice?
Pass.
Incorrect. Oh, no, that's an incorrect. 1962, Thanksgiving. Packers lost to the Lions. Bart Starr was sacked how many times, according to Pro Football Reference?
6.
Incorrect. All the other stories on sacks said that Starr was sacked actually another number. How many do they say?
8.
Incorrect. In the 62 Thanksgiving Day loss to the Lions, Jesse Whittington with an interception. What famous golf pro did he hire at a country club in El Paso?
Arnold Palmer.
Incorrect. He leads the NBA, 35.2 points per game.
Jokic.
Incorrect. He leads the NBA, 12.9 rebounds per game.
Jokic.
Incorrect. Running back leads the NFL, 6.1 yards per carry.
Emmanuel Wilson?
Incorrect. How many rushing touchdowns this year for Josh Jacobs?
10.
Incorrect. How many rushing touchdowns this year for Jonathan Taylor?
18.
Incorrect. Years that the Brewers have won 100 games in a regular season.
0.
Correct. Years that the Brewers have lost 100 games in a regular season.
1.
Correct. He led Major League Baseball last year with a .331 batting average.
Pass.
Cal Raleigh led Major League Baseball with home runs last season. How many did he hit?
60.
That is correct. 1, 2, 3. Wow, you came back. You had an O for going. I got 3. Is that right?
That's what I've got.
Yeah, and you missed the first 11. All right. Generally, Pebble is here, but he's not here. And we will now see how Alex Stroh does in terms of the questions. I'll bet you get most of them, but we'll see.
I don't know about that.
What team beat Marquette and Dwayne Wade in the Final Four?
That was Kansas.
Kansas, yes. What team won the national title when Marquette and Dwayne Wade lost in the Final Four?
Is this also Kansas?
Nope, Syracuse.
Oh, sure.
That's the greatness of Carmelo Anthony. He found a way to get Jim Boeheim a national title. 1963, the Packers were 11-2-1. What team beat them twice?
I don't know this one.
This is all Bears. They won the title that year.
Makes sense.
1962. This is a controversy that I discovered looking back to Detroit and Green Bay. 1962 Thanksgiving, Packers lost to the Lions. Bart Starr was sacked how many times according to the Pro Football Reference?
So we talked about this yesterday with John Anderson. I thought the answer was 10.
That is correct. However, all the other stories on sacks say that Starr was sacked how many times?
I would guess this is just 11 now?
11, yep. 10, and every story I had ever read was 11.
Interesting.
And I looked it up, Pro Football Reference, 10 sacks for, I couldn't find the play-by-play. I didn't care that much. This is a phenomenal story. In the 1962 Thanksgiving Day loss to the Lions, Jesse Whittington with an interception for the Packers. What famous golf pro did he hire at a country club in El Paso at that time, paying him $30 a week?
I would have said Arnold Palmer as well.
Lee Trevino. Jesse Whittington was also a pretty good golfer, I guess. He leads the NBA 35.2 points per game.
Luka Doncic.
Correct. He leads the NBA in rebounds, 12.9.
Wemby?
Wembyana, yep. Wemby is in first,
okay.
yes. Running back leads the NFL, 6.1 yards per carry.
Oh, after last week, is it Jahmyr Gibbs?
It is Jahmyr Gibbs. So you're on a roll. How many rushing touchdowns this year for Josh Jacobs?
That's 11.
That is correct. You're on a roll. How many rushing touchdowns this year for Jonathan Taylor?
14.
15. You're right. You had the idea. All right, yes, the Brewers have never won 100 games. In 2002, they were 56-106. He led Major League Baseball last year with a .331 batting average.
Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge is correct. And Cal Raleigh, 60 home runs. And
Big Dumper is nickname Homer.
Yeah.
Big Dumper.
Yeah, I would just say he's got a big butt. He's fat, but he's not because
he's not really fat.
No, especially when you have the guy in Toronto.
I think he's just got giant quads.
It could
well,
be.
Not quads.
It
more,
could be
glutes.
Yes,
I guess that would be.
But yes, no one had ever heard of the guy. I think he's the most surprising player to ever hit 60 home runs.
I would agree with
I don't even know what he ever.
Know who he was
what he ever hit? What he ever hit before? Did he ever hit 30 before?
I can look into that.
Yeah. Kyle, are you still there?
I am.
Well, what happened? Just not your area of expertise, or what?
Well, I was born in '83, so questions from the '60s are not going to be my forte.
Yeah, all right, that's fair enough.
I did want to go back. I did remember it was Aaron Judge, and I would have guessed the Bears if I'd have gotten back around to it. I don't know if I ran out of time or what.
You did run out of time. The buzzer actually occurred before you said Cal Raleigh, but I'm still going to give it to you. But I will say this. Given that you were 0 for 11, you made a nice comeback. I don't believe anybody has gone 0 for 11 and hit 3 of the last 4. So, but yes, do remember, as John Anderson mentioned yesterday in talking about the Packers losing to the Lions, they lost in '62, and then in '63, it was a tie, I think.
30 home runs for Cal Raleigh in 2023, 34 in 24. So he's continued to grow over the course of his career.
Yes, if in the old days you would assume that he was taking steroids, but
34 to 60 is quite a jump.
It is a huge jump. So We'll see what he does next year. Kyle, congratulations. You win the $25 gift card from Cousin Subs. And yes, you went 0 for 11 and then 3 for 4. Yes, the Bears question. There were some Don Hudson questions. I thought maybe with the Lions and the Packers playing that would have helped you a little bit. So we still have a leader at 10, and we have Jason Wilde next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We've got a few road closures right now. We've got, first of all, an accident on northbound Highway 164 at Danoon Road. This is right at the Waukesha-Racine County line. So give yourself that extra time if you need to go through there. And then in Ozaukee County, we've got southbound 43 shut down at Highway D because of a crash. Northbound is closed down at Highway 33. Now, I know this particular crash has a jackknife semi involved with it, so it is not moving really well at all. So you'll have to probably use the Grafton exit and use some of the other highways to get around this. But either way, it is going to be a solid ride in either direction of 43 through Ozaukee County. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast, a winter weather advisory is in effect until 6 for Fond du Lac, Dodge, Sheboygan, Washington, and Ozaukee counties. Tonight, snow tapers off, mostly cloudy and blustery, a low of 24. Tomorrow, a few flurries, cloudy, windy, chilly, a high of 32. Weather is brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, dedicated to saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Mother Nature can be unpredictable. Your roof, siding, and windows shouldn't be. We install peace of mind with transparency and quality guaranteed. Visit infinityexteriors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Josh DiMaggio and Ben Brust.
Greasy Ben Brust, just whichever way the wind's blowing. I have bad posture. I don't have a great backbone, Joshy.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
A father faces homelessness. A mother is hospitalized, and there's no one to watch their children. La Causa Crisis Nursery and Respite Center is the only free 24/7 crisis nursery in Milwaukee. It's a safe and nurturing place for children aged 0 to 12 to stay while their parents work to regain stability and strength. Your generosity keeps La Causa's doors open and provides meals, classroom resources, mental health support, and more. Every child deserves the chance to dream, grow, and thrive. Make a difference by donating today at lacausa.org.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. Hey, it's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee. With holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust Accutrans Group to handle all my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or a festive celebration, Accutrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Thanksgiving is almost here. What are you bringing to the table? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Pairing the right wine with your Thanksgiving dinner can turn your meal into a celebration. But you don't have to be an expert to find the right wine. That's what our knowledgeable staff is here for. With over 8,000 varieties of wine, Discount Liquor can help you choose between a light, fruity Pinot Grigio, a big, luscious Cabernet, or anything in between, all at the lowest prices in town. Visit us today at 51st and Oklahoma in Milwaukee and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store again.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Check out all of our weekly specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com. And from our family to yours, have a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Discount liquor.
Whether you're hitting the road for the holidays or heading up north to see family and friends, make Higher Love Cannabis Company in Menominee, Michigan your first stop. Just across the Wisconsin border, Higher Love offers award-winning, organically grown products that you can trust, plus new incense, apparel, and holiday-ready gifts. Fuel your trip, stock up for the season, and don't forget to grab a photo with Sasquatch while you're here. Your perfect holiday stop is waiting at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Rain Man is brought to you by Cousin Subs. Crispy chicken tenders are now available at Cousin Subs. Order today in store at cousinsubs.com or with the Cousins app. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. It's time for Jason Wilde on the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
Everybody needs more Packer information from Jason Wilde. You go to the ESPN Wisconsin app, and there's much Jason Wilde. Good afternoon, Jason.
Well, hello. Happy Thanksgiving, Uncle Homer. How are you?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to the game. I don't think it's as important as everybody else does.
Well, I think it's important to the Detroit Lions.
Yes. Mm-hmm. More so than the Packers.
Yes, we agree. 2 for 2.
Yeah. And now I guess we now know that McManus is healthy.
Healthy enough, anyway.
No, I think, don't you think? I mean, he's healthy. They wouldn't release the other kicker if they had any concerns, would they?
Unless they think they can get him back and put him on the practice squad because they kind of waited out the other teams that were having kicker issues, waited for them to commit to other people, and then, he clears waivers. They can bring him back on the practice squad. Then if for some reason there's a recurrence of McManus's injury issue, then they don't have to eat up a roster spot with him. They can just do a game day elevation. I think that's what's preferable as opposed to carrying 2 kickers on the 53-man roster.
I guess I don't appreciate the importance of one roster spot.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I just think that the mentality there is largely like for instance today, they obviously cut Havrasik to make room for Will Shepard, who's a wide receiver who has some punt return experience or some kickoff return experience, I should say, because they're not gonna have Savion Williams, who's been walking around in a walking boot all week long and then playing sparingly on game day. But I would predict that Will Shepard should enjoy his time as a member of the 53 because like they did with a couple of other guys earlier this season, Brant Banks, an offensive lineman, and then Christian Welch, a linebacker. They signed you to the 53 because they don't want to use up your elevations, but they're not planning on keeping you on the 53, which I think is more likely than not the case with Will Shepard. So then they'll cut him because then that'll create a spot for Jaden Reed next week, right?
Yeah.
And so that roster spot is valuable in that it's going to ultimately get Reed back on the roster. And in the interim, since they have some other issues, they can use that roster spot on someone who's going to potentially help them tomorrow.
All right, I'll concede on that. I think there are probably a million other ways you could do it that wouldn't create a difference.
Well, not when you have. Here's when it becomes tricky: is a time like right now when you have injury problems, because they probably have enough guys that they could have inactive due solely to their injuries, but then that also means that there's some guys that are going to be active that they don't really need to be active, right? That's why they have to do all this kind of roster shuffling. And so Havrasik, and in fairness to him, the conditions were bad. In unfairness to him, he missed 2 extra points, and it's a results-based business. And they went from thinking this guy's really good. We got to keep him in case we want him to be our kicker next year, because our kicker is long past the 30-year-old age bracket rule that we have for every other position.
Right.
He went from that to now being a guy where you're kind of like,
I want McManus back next year.
Put him through there. Yeah, I do too. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but the way they presented the idea of keeping Haversick on the roster was that, they kind of thought, well, maybe this is a guy that we would like to be our kicker down the road. So
I thought it was just because the guy's hurt, but you could be 100% right.
Yeah, I don't.
All right.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, let's get to the game Thursday and injuries or people or the fact that it's Thursday instead of Sunday could affect who and how much they play or take it away.
Sure. Yeah, so I think to me the biggest question is obviously Keyshawn Nixon. When guys have a stinger, sometimes they're back by Sunday, but it's a little bit like getting through the concussion protocol. If you have it on Sunday and then you have to play on Thursday, your chances are not zero, but remote, right? And so, they estimated that had they been practicing yesterday, that Keyshawn Nixon would have been a limited participant, same today. But what does that look like, and how realistic is it that he'll be fully functional and have, all the feeling back and everything else that comes from getting a stinger in that nerve in your neck? I don't know. But if he's not ready to go, and Nate Hobbs, who has missed the last several games, and now was at least healthy enough to be a possibility to play, with both of them questionable, if neither one is good to go, or if one plays briefly and then aggravates their injury, it's Kamal Hadden time. And as I was telling, Tausch and Jesse this morning,
you like him.
I do. He's a compelling story. I want this to be the Disney story where the guy had never played a down of NFL regular season defensive football, and last week he gets out there for the first time, and this week on Thanksgiving, close to his hometown of Ypsilanti, he goes out there and has a game-winning pick six to get the Packers a win on Thanksgiving against the team he grew up rooting for. And so,
see, that's how you're different. Is he any good? What is this a big shock? What do people say?
Well, no, because exactly that is where I'm different. Because the real question, if you're not a storyteller and you're being just
I'm not
clinical,
it's me.
He could get cooked in a big way. I mean, he's inexperienced. He was a draft pick last year by Kansas City. He didn't make it there. The Packers carried him on the practice squad. They're intrigued by him, but do I think that they would like to have him covering Jameson Williams all day tomorrow? No, I do not. They've been really impressed with him in practice.
I don't know. Is he fast? Does he cover well, or
he's
what?
Fast,
His
long.
suitcase is going to go in the College Football Hall of Fame. Independence Community College out of high school, then transfers to Auburn, and then transfers to Tennessee. Cash, baby.
Bruce Pearl. Yeah, so the reality for him is he's got some of the measurables that you really like.
Okay.
Right? I mean, but he was a 6th-round pick, so it's not like he was some sort of high pick that's a reclamation project here. The likelihood is that he's probably more likely to be a liability than an asset. But, Packers history is filled with unheralded guys,
cornerbacks,
who play corner, who become really good players, right? Tramon Williams being one of them. Al Harris was a 6th-round pick by Tampa Bay once upon a time, and he ended up being a great player. You don't have to be drafted as high as Charles Woodson to be a really good corner. And so Kamal Hadden has some of the attributes that you really like. He's long, he's athletic, he's tall, but he's inexperienced.
What do you like so much about him? Because that's generally a good sign. I can't remember the last person who was horrible that you liked, but maybe.
Oh, there's been plenty of them.
All right.
But one of the things I like about him is not just his personality or not just his kind.
Because he's a nobody.
Right. He is a very driven cat, and he's for him to take the journey that you just mentioned to get to the NFL and be drafted and then not have anything happen with Kansas City bide his time on the practice squad last year. I mean, he was one of the better stories coming out of camp. But again, this isn't about stories. This is about production. And it doesn't matter if he's a great story if Jamison Williams or Amon-Ra St. Brown or their third receiver, whoever, catches 2 touchdowns on him. Nobody cares about that. Not even me, right? Because then the story is this guy was overmatched.
But I believe you'd be surprised. I think that you believe he can be serviceable, or am I listening bad?
Yes. No, I think he could be serviceable. Do I also think that he could be overmatched? Yes. Do I think he's going to have the game-winning pick 6? I do not. That's just me in my Disney storytelling mode. So we'll see if it even comes to that. I will say this. I don't know if you said to me, all right, well, Nixon is out, and we're either playing Nate Hobbs or we're playing Kamal Hadden. I assume that they, and I suppose myself,
it better be Hobbs.
Have to say Hobbs, but I don't think it's as much of a slam dunk as it should be.
Because Hobbs does stupid things. How about that? Is
right.
That
He hasn't. Well, I mean that's a little strong, but that's kind of your medium.
Well, but if there was just play, it would take a half a second.
Right. I mean, look, Hobbs has not been healthy. 1, 2, he has not played well and if you want to chalk some of that up to injuries, fine, we can do that. But the bottom line is that whether it's fair or not, free agent signings come with expectations, and Xavier McKinney and Josh Jacobs blew them out of the water. And Aaron Banks is finally starting to play better, but I think Brian Bulaga, who knows more about offensive line play than I do, would tell you that he's not playing great. He's just playing better. And Nate Hobbs has been a disappointment. I don't think there's any two ways about it. Now, could he turn that around, and could he come in and play really well after resting, his knee, which was being blamed for his inconsistent play? Sure, that's possible too. But all I know is that to beat the Detroit Lions tomorrow, they have to do a couple of things defensively. First of all, they can't let Jahmyr Gibbs run them out of the building. And Jahmyr Gibbs is certainly capable of that. And don't sleep on David Montgomery, because he's a different type of back, but he's really good too. 2, they have to get at least some level of discomfort for the quarterback. Like, unfortunately for the Packers, when you look at the way the Lions offense functions, Jared Goff, if he is able to do 3- and 5-step drops, and when he hits the back foot on the 3rd or 5th step and he can get the ball out immediately, they're pretty much unstoppable. If you can disrupt him by disrupting the route the guy is running that he's supposed to go to with the ball, or if you can win quickly as a pass rusher and make him move, that's when he gets into trouble. So that's 2. And then 3, if they aren't able to get home, or they are able to, or the Lions are able to get the ball out on time, then their guys have to cover. And whether that's Carrington Valentine and Kamal Hadden, or it's Keyshawn Nixon somehow playing, or it's Nate Hobbs, if it comes down to coverage, they have to be able to win against 2 really good, explosive pass catchers. And it becomes a little bit easier, kind of like the Packers not having Tucker Kraft, the fact that they don't have Sam Laporta, their stud tight end. But that is a big challenge, and I just don't know if the Packers' corners, as they are currently constructed, are going to be able to do that. And
if it happens, the focus will also go on the pass rush.
It will, but I do think this is one of those games, Homer, where the pass rush can be negated by an offensive game plan that says, look, we are not going to sit back there and wait for Micah Parsons to ruin the game for us. Just like the Packers have to, especially with, I still think the under, I don't want to say underreported because we've all reported on it, but the under-discussed issue, I firmly believe, is that Love's injury has been viewed as more minor than it should be. And I think Jordan, if you gave him some truth serum, would agree with me.
And then
so,
we can judge that based on their game plan and how they do things.
Right, exactly. And if they're so obviously they were able to run the ball a ton against the Vikings because of the quarterback they were facing, the way their defense was playing.
I wanted to ask you
can't do that tomorrow.
I know, but that game plan tells me he's hurt. They can say all they want.
Yep.
All right. Okay, last question. I want to believe that Anthony Belton is the heaviest Packer in the history of the team, but maybe I'm exaggerating how big he is.
I mean, he's big, and
at least you start at 350 with Anthony Belton, right?
Yeah, I don't think he is the 336 he's listed as. No.
Can you think of a player in your tenure that you would say, Homer, he's not as big as this guy?
Well, they had this one guy, his tackle, and now his name is escaping me.
Did he
Maybe
play much?
Strofe remembers it. No, they carried him on the. Okay. He was like kind of.
in terms of a guy playing, then.
I didn't know this off the top of my head, Wilde, but I just looked up the heaviest Packers of all time. Are you looking for Caleb Jones?
That's what I'm looking for. You got it.
370 pounds.
Yeah, but did he ever play? No one would know. He could have been an equipment guy.
Well, all due respect to Caleb, I don't know how well he could move, Homer.
Well, that's what I want to ask about Anthony Belton.
I think
because
he played. I think he played in a game or two.
So you
he
think
made their 53.
So Belton's not as big. All right, okay.
And I mean, Belton's big now. He is a big dude. Like I look like a.
I get excited thinking of Belton and Zach Tom. Like that could be where they could run, not just now, but in the future. Am I excited?
No, I don't think. No, I don't think you are. Now, I would also add, and of course, Tausch misinterpreted this and had on purpose and had fun with it. You know, my concern, if I'm a Packers fan, is how will he be in pass protection?
Oh yeah,
right.
Yep.
Great story that he got the opportunity last week and he took advantage of it. But that offensive game plan was conducive to his strength, which is he's a mauler.
Yeah.
He will
right. So you're going to have somebody chip over there, right? That you put a tight end there, right? You help him out.
He's at guard. So the good thing about having him at guard is that.
Right.
You know, that's not like you have built-in help on either side of you.
That's true.
Like, I don't know where his future is. I mean, he's another one of those guys, and you've heard Bulaga talk about how he couldn't play guard. Yeah. Like, he's another one of those guys that's been a tackle his whole life.
I just figure Zach Tom helps on inside a little bit, and then if he needs to get a little help, I mean,
all I'm saying is that if I'm the Lions, I am going to want to test him.
Yeah.
And see what I can create.
All right, Jason. Thank you. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Take care. Be good.
We will have Tim Van Vooren coming up soon. Running a business means taking care of your team and your bottom line. I already talked about Saganiac Planning. Doing it again. Over 50 years. Helping small businesses build smarter, more affordable medical and employee benefit plans. From health insurance to customized coverage options, Saganiac Planning's experts make it simple to protect your people and your future. Hey, did you try this? Did you do this? That's what Saganiac Planning does. Your partner in planning confidence. Visit SaganiacPlanning.com or call John Saganiac Jr. 262-783 Roger Maris 6161. And Window Nation, end of the year sale, 90% customer satisfaction, way more important than what I think. It's cold out there, and if you spent last winter thinking it was time for new windows and you're thinking, well, it's too late, no, it isn't, because Window Nation is right now. They get it done, not now, right now. And you'll save big with 50% off all window styles, plus you could get 0% financing for 5 years. You save money on lower utility bills, and you can get it done right now. Lifetime warranty. Window Nation, A+ rating from Better Business Bureau, 50% off on all window styles, 0 interest for 5 years. Yeah, when you call, I want it done right now. That's what Homer said. Yep. Sale ends soon. Visit windownation.com to get started. Tim Van Vooren, not next. I'm next, but he's soon.
The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Still have a brutal ride on 43 through Ozaukee County. We've got a couple of road closures on the northbound side of 43, closed at Highway 33 because of a crash. That one's involving a jackknife semi. I'm not quite sure if the southbound being closed at Highway D is because of the same accident or if it's a separate accident. Either way, southbound's also closed. So those delays stretch all the way back almost to Manitowoc. Goodness gracious. On the northbound side, it's backing up all the way to Grafton, so do be careful with that. We've got 41 just heavy in pockets all the way down from Slinger all the way down to Capitol Drive. It gets a lot heavier from Appleton down to Capitol. Northbound side's backed up from about Mayfair Road all the way up to Silver Spring. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Winter weather advisory in effect until 6 for Fond du Lac, Dodge, Sheboygan, Washington, and Ozaukee counties. Tonight, the snow tapers off, mostly cloudy and blustery with a low of 24. Tomorrow, a few flurries, cloudy, windy, and chilly, a high of 32. Weather's brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee, packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This holiday season, trade the hustle and bustle for a lakeside retreat just a short drive from the city at Lake Lawn Resort. With an award-winning spa, special events all month long, like our Taylor Swift experience, our annual Thanksgiving feast, and of course, the kickoff to our Breakfast with Santa brunch. Be sure to make time with family, friends, or that special someone. Lake Lawn Resort has everything you need to create cherished memories and relive stories of old. Book your holiday escape today at Lake Lawn Resort, where the spirit of the season comes to life and everything truly is better at the lake.
Homer here for Window Nation's end of the year sale. This November, you'll save big with 50% off all window styles. Plus, you could get 0% financing for 5 years. Window Nation's proven quality windows are so good, you'll actually save money on lower utility bills and come with a lifetime warranty. Window Nation even has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Don't miss out on 50% off and 0 interest for 5 years. Visit windownation.com to get started.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some exciting news from my friends at Bank 5-9. Not only have they been named a top workplace for 16 straight years, but they've just won the prestigious Community Choice Award as the best bank in the Milwaukee area. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Not only do they have great products and services, but they truly live out their mission to make lives better. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check out the best. Visit bank59.com to learn more today. Member FDIC.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Let's get to this week's specials at Century Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 24-pack selected varieties essential everyday purified water, 2 for $6. 9 to 13.1 ounce selected varieties Old Dutch Crunch, Ripple, or Restaurant Tortilla Chips, 2 for $5.50. 64 ounce selected varieties Ocean Spray Cranberry Juice, $2.99. 75 to 80 count or 12 ounce selected varieties Lysol Disinfecting Wipes or Spray, $4.99.
And now time for the big reveal. Free groceries.
That's too over the top. Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Century's Facebook or Instagram by December 31st.
Homer here with a message about Three Pillars Senior Living Communities, located on a serene setting along the Bark River on 300 gorgeous acres. Three Pillars Senior Living Communities is a top-ranked full continuum community. Active adult, independent living, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, and rehab. Three Pillars, the hands-down choice for you or your loved one. Been there. Know people who live there. They love it. You got to go to Dousman and see it in person. Get all the info on Three Pillars at threepillars.org.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Tim Van Vooren very soon. If you're hitting the road for the holidays, maybe heading up north, doing some shopping, you're just getting out of town, make a quick stop at Higher Love Cannabis Company in Menominee. It's literally right across the Wisconsin border in a car, 9 seconds. Not 8, not 10. Exactly 9 seconds. They've got award-winning organically grown products you can trust. Plus, they've added incense apparel and a ton of great holiday gift ideas. And if you go, you got to get a picture with Sasquatch. That I have not done. So before you head out, swing by Higher Love in Menominee or start your trip at findhigherlove.com/CBD. Less than an hour from Green Bay. 9 seconds across the border. Higher Love Cannabis Company. Findhigherlove.com/CBD for more information. Tim Van Vooren. I'm going to do the shortest segment ever to make sure we get as much time with Tim Van Vooren as possible because he is in Detroit. Next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I would just say that right now I think all options are on the table. I think that they went through that trade thing and they talked to teams, and it's not like those talks are shut down.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino, Tony Wendorf and Associates, and Smart 18 Union on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Looking for green and gold tickets? Ticket King is your go-to for Green Bay football tickets. With offices in Milwaukee and Green Bay, Ticket King is your local and most trusted source to see the green and gold. Plan ahead and get your seats this season at theticketking.com. The green and gold are putting together an awesome season that might be memorable and end with another championship. Be there to witness it and get your seats at theticketking.com or call 414-273-6007. Theticketking.com. It's not sold out until the King is sold out.
Is mud calling a timeout on your ride? A Tsunami Express car wash membership is your winning play. Get unlimited washes, fast lane access, and free vacuums every visit, all for less than $1 a day. With 7 Milwaukee area locations, including the newest spot in New Berlin, keeping your car in prime time condition is a total touchdown. Whether you're tailgating, heading to the stadium, or just cruising around town, make sure you roll up looking like a champ. Become a member today at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
Hey guys, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel here to give you some advice. If you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, the Jewelry Center has to be your stop for the ring. It's what I did. They're the best place to shop for diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee for a reason. I didn't know what to get, but with help of a Pinterest board, the Jewelry Center and their team of specialists took care of everything from start to finish. Naturally mined diamonds, lab-grown diamonds, whatever you're in the market for, when it comes to an engagement ring, the Jewelry Center has it. Find locations and inventory online at shoptjc.com.
Every child deserves a chance. When you join the team at La Causa, you support giving children a chance to learn, to grow, to dream. La Causa Crisis Nursery and Respite Center is the only free 24/7 crisis nursery in Milwaukee. Their team doesn't just show up for work, they show up for the community as teachers, counselors, mentors, and advocates, united by compassion, education, and opportunity. Help change lives every day by embarking upon a rewarding career at La Causa. Apply today at lacausa.org.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. Hey, it's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee. With holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust AccuTrans Group to handle all my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or a festive celebration, AccuTrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
Football's back, and if you're headed up toward Green Bay, the perfect stop is Higher Love Cannabis Company, just seconds over the border in Menominee, Michigan. Less than an hour from Green Bay. An easy stop before or after the game or anytime you're passing through town. And with so many low-quality, unregulated CBD products floating around Wisconsin, trust matters. Higher Love, award-winning, organically grown, locally owned, and the real deal. Higher Love Cannabis Company, best in the Midwest. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Hungry for something fresh and delicious? Get your favorites from Cousin Subs delivered straight to your door. From our freshly baked bread and hand-sliced meats and cheeses to our famous sides, crispy golden fries, Wisconsin cheese curds, or creamy mac and cheese. Every meal made to order and ready to enjoy. Ordering is quick and easy online or through the Cousins app. Whether it's a solo lunch, family dinner, or a spread for the whole crew, let us bring it straight to you, fast and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Tim Van Vooren is brought to you by The Ticket King, your local and most trusted source for Green Bay football tickets. Visit theticketking.com or call 414-273-6007. The three most important letters in sports. Even better than those.
TVV.
It's Fox 6 Sports Director Tim Van Vooren on the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN. Tim Van Vooren is brought to you by The Ticket King, your local and most trusted source for Green Bay football tickets. Visit theticketking.com or call 414-273-6007.
Yes, the three-time Wisconsin Sportscaster of the Year, and it could be number 4, is brought to you by The Ticket King. He's got a partner. TVV, you ready to go?
Homer, of course I am.
All right, are you any more optimistic? What is your view of the Packers for people who don't know? The TVV all year has been cautiously optimistic, and if that's wrong, you can do a better phrase. How are you feeling now versus a week ago?
Kind of right there. I don't think much has changed. Obviously, this stretch run determines everything. It's a big game tomorrow, obviously. You can swing into the playoff driver's seat. You can swing right out of the playoffs. I was just talking to someone here in Detroit who is around the game on a regular basis, knows all these teams well, very unhappy with the Lions. They're getting some people back in his mind, but very dissatisfied with the Lions, surprisingly so. So while we see some
any
warts with the
particular
Packers,
reason why? That would be
doesn't like the offensive line at all. Obviously, the news of Frank Ragnow returning is something that would be a positive. It won't be helping them tomorrow, but would be going forward. But I was surprised how down he was on the Lions. So maybe, every team has these warts.
How has the running back done so well if the line, isn't that, I would think maybe I'm making too much of what Gibbs has looked like. I'm curious for your thought.
I think Gibbs has looked like one of the 2 or 3 best backs in the league this season. He's kind of pulling away. It used to be the combo there with the two. I have not seen that much from Montgomery this year, but Gibbs looks just like he's really in the groove and smelling it, and so impactful.
Right.
He can catch the ball, but he can take it up.
Wouldn't that make someone who follows him feel more confident, or even if the offense?
I was surprised.
Yeah, okay.
I even asked about Gibbs. I said, "Oh yeah, he's been great," but just kind of a dissatisfaction, which surprised me. So, I'd pick the Lions tomorrow, but I don't think it's a rout, and I think the Packers have a chance. The Packers are slowly but surely doing things that help you win football games. They are not turning the ball over. They've cut their penalties down. They're getting a few takeaways. Hasn't been that flashy, Homer, but those things start to add up a little bit in the right direction.
You are your tone is more positive than I can remember at any point this season. We'll make note of that. Questions on YouTube. Do you expect even a higher percentage of the offensive line package with an extra offensive lineman? My answer to that is you have an extra one just when you play Belton, even if you don't have an extra one. But I'm obsessing on his weight. Take it away, TVV.
Belton's been, I would think Belton plays more than Morgan tomorrow for sure. And I would think that they continue to use that Kennard extra lineman package. Matt LaFleur was positive about that when asked about it yesterday in Green Bay. I haven't seen dominance out of that package, but it's something else they can do. Luke Musgrave's snap total is just go down, down, down.
Yeah,
so,
what happened today? What's happened to him? We know he's not that good. He can't block or what?
They've given up, I think, on trying to pass the ball to the tight end, and so then you're going to play Fitzpatrick more than the other two guys there, with the occasional tight end in the route, but mostly blocking from that tight end position is what we're seeing now. People always ask me, do you see changes over the course of the year? I actually think we've seen a lot here. You're seeing more Emmanuel Wilson. You're seeing less Luke Musgrave. You're seeing more John Fitzpatrick. You're seeing, more of that extra lineman, which you didn't see the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I think that's because their quarterback is hurt. And that's not being talked about. Oh, okay.
You saw the single kick return alignment last week. They haven't seen that all year. So they are doing subtle things. You're just seeing some different players get, a little different distribution of snaps.
All right, let's find out about Kamal Haddon. Had he ever made mention in the Tim Van Vooren Scouting Bureau? I don't think so, but I want to know what you think of him because he's being given a very difficult situation, and I judge replacements by if you don't talk about them, they did well.
Good judgment to always apply, Homer, as you know. I've not talked about Kamal Hadden. No, I have not. I like Kamal Hadden. He's one of my favorite guys to talk to, actually, and I didn't really realize that until first week of the season.
Jason Wilde said the same thing. What? Tell me more.
Yeah, well, he's great. He's a great personality. He's from the Detroit area, which is why I was talking to him in the first week of the season, and he talked about what he does to give back to middle school kids in his community and how excited he was to play against Detroit, and the guys are coming around. And this week he was talking about how he played the Pop Warner and Tiny Toddy called it football at Ford Field when he was a kid, and he said he had the long hair and he was all that.
Did he say he was nervous last week or what?
No, he said, I'm in there. You know what I mean? I was prepared for it. I was excited for it. I was excited. I hadn't done it before.
What are his
strengths? I could do it. Well, he said part of it is cockiness. I mean, I think at that position you have to have a little bit of that. That was always one of Jair Alexander's calling cards. I think Carrington Valentine plays with cockiness. I think Keyshawn Nixon plays with cockiness. And I think Kamal Hadden has some of that. At some point, you're counting on backup players. So are they good? Are they ascending players, or are they backups for a reason? To me, in the Ted Thompson era, they used to bring a lot of guys up from the practice squad over the course of the season rather than look for outside acquisitions. And to me, those guys were almost always still third stringers than they should have been. With this Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst era, you bring up some of those guys from the practice squad. I've seen contributions from some of those guys in recent years, and Hadden would certainly be a guy who, came up last year and now has delivered with his snaps so far this year.
I believe in points scored, points given up. That's the way you determine. The Packers' defense last year at this time was 6th. This year they're 5th. I don't think that they've been that much better than they were last year, but I know they have greater potential with Parsons. What's your view of the defense?
Right with you. I think I've said it many weeks with you, Homer. I don't understand why they don't get more sacks. I mean, Parsons has obviously been effective. Why isn't somebody else cleaning up after him if he's taking all these blockers? Or, he's got 10 sacks, but maybe he can add to that. I don't know. But to me, if you get more of that happening at the quarterback, you get more takeaways, then there would be a bigger difference between last year and this year with your defensive numbers, because your takeaways, you've finally gotten a few the last couple of weeks, but they haven't really been that impactful. They've helped you stave off charges by the other team. You need some momentum turning plays. The defense, for all it has done this year, has not done that.
And wide receiver, give me the TVV ranking or thoughts on the Packers wide receiver. It would appear they got one guy and everybody else, but
and they're lucky to get that guy back. They're lucky to have that guy back. We talked about the impact that he could have, and we're talking about Christian Watson. He's shown why they extended him. He's shown what he can do on the field. I was just talking to Jaden Reed within the last half hour here in Detroit. I'm guessing he's a week and a half away, and I think Reed has proven that he's very valuable on this football team to this offensive attack. So maybe you can do a little bit more at the tail end of the season once you've realized you've got Jacobs and Wilson running, and if you get Reed back to supplement the wide receiver core. And again, I think they've totally gone away from throwing to the tight end.
And tell us how you view the health, the injury of Jordan Love.
It's impacting him, but it's better that last year he had the nagging injuries to the lower half. That's the worst thing you can have for a quarterback. If I'm the Packers, I'd rather have this injury, which is nagging. And if you can get through tomorrow, then you get a week and a half for him to be in good shape for the final month.
Are they running more, as I alluded to? Are they doing things differently because of that, and they think it'll go away? How is this, in your view, fitting together?
I think we see tomorrow. I think against the Vikings, they did, bare minimum, and that's what they should have done. There was a perfect game plan for last week. I have no qualms whatsoever with what they did. It wasn't anything big and flashy and all that stuff. You were playing again today. You weren't threatened by their offense. You were playing again today. Perfect. Or this week, Thursday. So what do they do on Thursday? Do they open it back up a little more passing, or do they stay on the ground? Then we'll know what they think about their ability and need to protect Love's shoulder.
And lastly, one quick question on the Bucs. I watched him against Portland. It was horrible. This bad at defensive. Just horrible. I know you don't have Giannis, but horrible. Tell me something. I mean, I don't mind him being hurt because I think you wanted him to play less, but I just wonder how good they can do in the playoffs. Horrible. Go ahead.
Really looking like a one-man team. And if you don't have that one man, you don't have much.
Oh, it really wasn't a ringing endorsement. You don't realize how important your tone is. I don't want to say I don't listen to the words, but the tone. And you're picking
bring it out.
You're picking Detroit, but I've said I don't care. They got so many games left, and this is just one. And I don't know who's the favorite in the division. Do you have one, or does it even matter where it's at now? It's to be determined. What do you say?
It's to be determined. I think you play the Bears twice in 3 weeks after this. That's your monster chance to move up in the division. You want to win tomorrow. You got to win those 2 games against the Bears, in my opinion, based on where Chicago is in the standings.
Well
Not
done.
easy to do either.
All right, TVV, thanks. If you're hitting the road for the holidays, you as well, maybe heading up north, should get number 4. Make a quick stop. Well, I don't think I can say that. Never mind. I got to go on Wilde and Tausch. It's a little more complicated than I led you to believe. But anyway, you'll get it. Make a quick stop at Higher Love Cannabis Company in Menominee, just across the border, like 9 seconds across the border. Award-winning organically grown products. Higher Love in Menominee. Start your trip at findhigherlove.com/CBD, less than an hour from Green Bay. Really, really, really award-winning organically grown products. Find Higher Love, findhigherlove.com/CBD for more information.
You rooting for Tausch or TVV?
Oh, we're rooting for them both.
Me too.
Actually, I vote for Tausch. TVV's got 3. How much difference is there in your life to have 4 versus 3? Tausch doesn't have one.
That's true.
And I think that's impressive for an athlete to move on to any level of work and be as good as he is.
For those of you that have no idea what the hell we're talking
it's the
about.
Wisconsin sports caster. And I've never seen this many finalists. I thought it was always about 3. There are 13 finalists, right? Or was
I
7,
don't know if it's 13,
8?
but I think it's 7.
7.
I mean, we've got a great state for that.
Yeah.
You included, pal.
I just thought it used to always be 3. But either way, yes, they are 2 of the 7. And good luck to Tausch.
Now you're really saving your ass for when you go on Wilde and Tausch a week from today, huh?
No, I hadn't given thought, but somebody's got 3. I don't care what it is.
All right, we ran along again. Get out.
Bye.
Okay, well, Capital